welcome back to the Toppy Blues, your source for all things Everton. My name's Connor Williams, and we're back with another video. It is another 777 video. So 777. Just my thoughts on some of the stuff that's come out. I know I did a video on this. I think it might have been last week. About just summing it all up. More news has come. I feel like it's every single day now. So I can't remember where we left off last time, but this one's just a little bit of a rundown of my thoughts on the breaking news today. So I think the last time I was on, I said 777 are being sued for borrowing fraudulently against the approximately of £280 million of assets that it didn't control and did not exist. That came via telefootball. Since then, we did stuff like people are waiting in the wings. We're going to get Deloitte, I'm going to pronounce them as Deloitte, to look for new takeovers. It'd be nice to know who these waiting in the wings people are, by the way. It gives me a bit of faith that they're there, but the Everton shareholders sent a letter as well. Telefootball also said that Moshiri has no immediate change of mind proposed in over the proposed takeover. That was on the 7th of May, so yesterday, at the time of recording this video. So this just shows how insane, mental, silly it all is. So as of yesterday, no immediate change of mind. That all changes today, which we'll get into. You had Mike McGrath say that that's replacing Dan Ashworth. That's Newcastle's problem. So we had the news today that Moshiri met in London yesterday with 777, and talks are expected to continue over the next few days as Moshiri seeks clarity and resolution to complete the deal, with an outcome expected before the club's final home game of the season against Sheffield United on Saturday. That came via Alan Myers. So as of earlier today by Alan Myers, he said there are serious doubts around 777's acquisition within the club, and discussions are focused on bringing a resolution to this week. More importantly, focusing on a way to move the club forward. That was sort of writing on the wall, really, with it. Then you had news break today from Belgium that Standard Liège accounts are currently empty, and the players have been informed that they'll no longer be paid until the end of the season. Managers at the club are struggling to contact 777. That came from Sacha Tavaleri, who is a very, very good Belgian journalist. He broke the Onana news. I think he broke Doku to City as well. He's a very highly respected Belgian journalist. Or covers Belgian football. And I know Julia Bold has had him on BBC Sounds Merseyside today as well, speaking about this. Obviously, that's not very good. It's an absolute shame for Standard Liège, a really, really big Belgian club with a lot of history, and that's where they're being resorted to. That should be the ghost of future past, shouldn't it, really? But like I said, there was stuff. Telefootball basically confirmed what Alan Myers said, that Moshiri is almost definitely trying to go ahead with 777. And then as of 20 minutes ago, this is the main reason we're here. Breaking news: Farhad Moshiri is considering terminating his agreement with 777 for the American company to buy Everton amid persistent doubts over its financial capabilities. That's come via Paul Joyce. Paul Joyce then also said it's understood that there are other parties interested in acquiring Everton. Like I said, we don't know who these other parties are, and it would be lovely to know. I'm not going to shoot the messengers, like I've seen some people do, because it's not the messenger's fault. Obviously, if they knew, they'd tell you, because it gets clicks. It's literally it's never really in a journalist's interest to withhold information indefinitely. You can tease it, you can tease it, but the people who are reporting that there's other people in the wings have reported this about a week ago. They obviously don't know the names, otherwise they'd report it. It only hinders them doing this. The same news doesn't sell. If they had the names, that I'm 100% sure they'd break it. So I'm not going to shoot the messengers. It's just a bit irritating that we can't seem to find out who these are. There's rumours of it being sovereign states in Qatar. There's rumours of it being other American consortiums. In terms of 777, I am annoyed, glad that it looks like Moshiri's finally turning his head around and taking his head, for a wobble there. But I'm a bit annoyed that he's only considering it. Everything, this is a guy who is an accountant, and he is only considering it because he's worried about their financial capabilities. I could tell they don't have the money. People are telling you they don't have the money. What more evidence do you need? Standard Liège are a very, very respected club, and I feel really sorry for their fans. And they are being told they can't pay people. They've got other ventures outside of sport that are going bankrupt and they're trying to sell the assets of. This is insane. I'm fully of my own conscious mind, and this is a theory I've made up on my own and I've had for some time over 777. They wanted to get in, rip the club of its most valuable assets and leave, one of them being the stadium. I have no doubt 777 see this club nothing more than new stadium to sell off and then get out. They will come in, rip the copper out the building and leave, in my opinion, or that's what that's what I believe from the information I've been given. Sort of given and then I've seen on Twitter. I'm about as in the know as yous. But that's my theory on what the evidence that I've been presented on Twitter and from journalists. And like, if I can see that, then you watching at home and most Everton fans can probably see they don't have the money. So I don't know what Farhad Moshiri is. Basically, I don't know what else he needs to see. Does he literally need to see the zeros in the bank accounts, or so it blows my mind. It also blows my mind because I've never wanted 777. Never have, never will. I think it's very clear what they are, but I also am aware that Everton need a takeover. We need to be taken over. I've never wanted it to be 777, and I'm sort of praying with same with the relegation battles we've been in. I live on the hope of that we weren't good enough that we weren't the worst teams going down and stuff like that. There were worse teams than us, and that we'd be okay. And that's got me through the last 3 seasons on that merit. But I also believe that there will be other teams, other buyers in the waiting room, sort of in the wings. I don't know who they are. Obviously, no one does, I don't think. But I have faith that there must be somebody because we are a Premier League club. I know Alan Myers said, why wouldn't anyone buy us? And people were saying about the debt. But if you've got the abundance of money or just enough to clear the debt, I think Everton could survive with clearing the debt, getting the stadium finished, and saying to the team and the manager, no money for transfers this year. Try and do your best with loans and stuff like that. Whatever you sell, you can spend. I think we'd still be okay. I still think we'd be okay with the current manager and the current team. And then next year, they'll be like, well, yeah, now we've got a bit more. I mean, if it was a sovereign state, I don't think money's really an issue, is it? If it was Qatar, I don't think money's that much of an issue. A couple of 100 million in debt is nothing when you're a like that's the other thing. If you're a billionaire, it's a lot of money to us, but I can't explain the difference between a millionaire and a billionaire. It is like you obviously know it's loads, but like it's really, really mental. I always think of this thing I saw that summed it up where it was like a million seconds is something like I can't remember what it is now. It's like a million seconds is like a day or two. And a billion seconds is like something like daft, like right, yeah. So a million seconds is 11 days. A billion seconds is 32 years. Now think about that in money, because I know that's time and time's cut by 60, but like that just goes to show, how mental the difference is between a million and a billion. It is absolutely insane. It's insane the difference. And every time I hear that, I think, wow. So if you're a billionaire, a couple of 100 million's a drop in the ocean, isn't it? But my thoughts are Moshiri needs to knock this on the head and needs to focus his energy into the new buyers, finding new buyers, getting that done ASAP, and leaving this club. And he will go out with a whimper. In my opinion, I remember debating with somebody on Twitter about Moshiri's legacy, and they were under the illusion that he will go down as very, very good because he's brought the stadium. But I mean, has he? He's about to go before the season. The stadium's even finished, and we're scraping for money now for it. He will go as a really, really bad custodian of the club, who always will have a question mark over whether the money was entirely his. And will go out in a whimper, and hopefully just doesn't kill the club on the way out. But yeah, they're my thoughts. Sack 777 off. I didn't think you could do any worse than Moshiri. Then I've seen these and heard about these and thought, no, you could do a lot worse. That doesn't mean he's good, by the way. I don't think that contradicts what I've just said. That doesn't mean he's good. Saying you'd rather lose an arm than a leg still isn't a brilliant, scenario. So sack them off, sell the club to a better buyer with money, somebody who actually has the money. It doesn't have to be, I'm not asking for it to be, the next, us to be the next Man City. Just sell it to somebody who's actually got the money, and ideally a football brain would be nice, or a business brain even. But yeah, 777 needs to be knocked on the head. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and comment down below your thoughts on the 777 saga fiasco. Look forward to reading them. See you soon.